Good morning or good evening, wherever you are in the world. Bear with me while I just refresh my computer. So I can make sure that we can see nicely. Excellent. Okay, going to give people a chance to come on. Hopefully you can hear me okay. And then I will flip the camera and get going. So if someone could send me some thumbs up if you can hear okay, that would be wonderful, because my little green light isn't coming on. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, let me, excellent, thank you. I'm going to flip the camera and talk through what I'm going to be using this morning. So good morning to everybody and thank you for joining me, which is lovely, and good evening to everyone in Australia, which is so lovely that you all join us in the evening. It's brilliant. Okay, I don't have the sample card, I'm afraid. I think it's probably in Australia. In fact, I'm pretty certain it is. Anyway, it doesn't matter because I'm gonna do, I've shared the picture of what I'm making and I'm going to do something similar even if it's not exactly the same. I'm just waiting for my computer to catch up. I think that looks like an all right view. Okay, so I'm going to be using a 5x7 card, and I've also cut down a piece of cardstock so that I've got a little border just showing all the way around the edge, and I will probably layer this on with a piece of card. Just so, or foam pads, whatever, just give it a bit of dimension. So that's the card base. I'm not sure, originally I used this embossing folder, which was one of Mum's. I've no idea whose it is. It hasn't got any markings on it. It's little irregular dots all over it, which is rather nice. There is also a Cuttlebug one that I have that is just polka dots, which again would be nice. And then I found this one, Kraft Concepts, don't know whose that is, an embossing folder. It's called Budding Vine, and I just thought that this has got quite a nice all over pattern that wouldn't detract from the flowers either. So you just want something that's going to give you a nice pattern when you start adding some ink to it. So I'll use one of those. I'm going to be using my Perfectly Pretty Blooms, just the dies, so no stamps this time, and I've already die cut this one, and this one. So I've got some of those already die cut. I've die cut some circles for the little insides of the little daisies, and I'm going to use my beautiful blooms insides that come in the other dies. So these, sorry, I should show you properly, shouldn't I? These come in with the beautiful blooms die set, and they are absolutely fabulous for centres of flowers. And we've got this other one as well, which is lovely. Got your hearts, which you could put in the middles of them as well. But I am actually going to use these, and I was going to die cut them, have them already, and then I realised I want to show you something that I'm going to do to them, so I've left them. I need to die cut those, so that it won't take me long though. Okay. And I must remember next time I do any flower dies to include some centres in another pack, because it would be very useful. I only think of these things once it's done. Anyway, I've also die cut some of the leaves. You could use any of them. It doesn't really matter. I just wanted something that still looked quite like the leaf without the stamping on it, if that makes sense. So this one, which I love, but I think if you just die cut that and use that on its own, it wouldn't exactly make sense, because you would need the lines to define the centre pieces, whereas this one still works nicely as the leaves. This one would work nicely. So yeah, so I've die cut some of those. So they're all out of my, that's out of the medley of leaves. So this is the latest collection. So it's Perfectly Pretty collection. I have some distress ink, so I've put out some greens already. I'm going to use a bit of mowed lawn and a bit of lucky clover. I'm going to use the Lisa Horton gold ink pad to do the centres of my flowers, and then I will also add a sentiment from one of Hazel's die sets, and I'll probably do that in the gold as well, because it's like a matte gold, and it's really lovely. I used it on a card the other day, and it's, oh, that looks super. I must show the ladies that. And then I did the original card in rainbow colours, but I'm thinking, I'm quite fancying doing something like scattered straw and, oh, what about a bit of wild honey, and maybe need another, I don't use spice marmalade very much either, or carved pumpkin. Maybe use one of those instead of twisted citron, which is one I always go for. And we might use a bit of mustard seed, we'll see. We'll go carved pumpkin, just for a change. So I just thought it'd be nice to have like yellows and oranges. I might need a deeper one, but we'll get there, we'll see. So I'm going to do my flowers first of all. So once I've got my card bases ready, I didn't emboss my leaves, I left those plain. And I think I'm probably going to do the same again this time. So they're okay, they're just waiting to be coloured. The flowers, I embossed them and then I coloured them. So I'm going to do that bit first, because I didn't want to put colour on them and then obviously put them in here. And also to get the variations in the colours showing, I wanted to add the texture so that you go over with the ink pad, over with your ink onto the texture, so you get different tones. I know, sorry, I'm trying to read a comment, and I shouldn't try and read comments. So I'm placing my flowers, an assortment of flowers, into the embossing folder. I will have to do a couple of times because I've got too many for one go, because it's not as big as the other one. But I should be able to get most of the little ones. It might just be the little, the big one that I need to do again. Oh, there's no point, is there? Right. So I'm just going to set my... Oh, please, could somebody give me some thumbs up, because that's never happened before and I don't know if I have lost you or not. If someone can give me some thumbs up, that would be brilliant. It's coming. Oh, fantastic. I am so sorry. I left my alarm on and I suddenly thought that I think everyone's going to go. Okay, that's brilliant. Bear with me a minute while I just emboss this. Sorry about that, everybody. Oh, I hope I don't lose lots of people now. Oh yes, happy birthday, Andreen. Hope you have a lovely day. And how nice of you to join me on your birthday. Okay, so I'm putting the rest of the flowers in. I'm not sure I'm going to like this pattern quite as much as the dots now, but we'll see. We'll go with it now I've done it, so bear with me. Okay, so I think we have everything here now. So it's a nice pattern anyway, and it will show up much nicer once I start doing the embossing on it. Let's get some bits over the light. I'm sorry. In fact, it's probably not too bad actually. It's a lovely bright day today, which makes a nice change at the moment. Okay, so let's bring some colours in. So I'm going to start off with scattered straw. This is a lovely, really soft yellow. So I'm just going to come in. You could just do the centres if you wanted to, but I am going to colour the whole flower. And because it's been embossed, and those areas are where the my sponge is touching first of all, those colours are always going to be a little bit darker. That's the thing I just love. I love dry embossing. I don't do it often enough, and I just love the effect you get with it. Okay, so I'm coming back in. I'm just making the centre just a little bit darker. So let's just let the computer catch up with me, and then I can have a quick read of all the comments. Yeah, happy 21st, Andreen. I like tone on tone colours. It was Brian's pink that threw me. Pink? What's pink? But okay, yeah, we could add some pink actually. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, how lovely does that look? Beautiful. So I want a few different sized flowers in the different colours. So I will do a little one, and we will have a medium sized one as well. You could, if you've got blending brushes, you could use blending brushes to do this as well. Don't have to use the blending tools, but I just find it gets in all the nooks and crannies really well. Okay, so got my scattered straw. Let's go with wild honey next. And again, this is another really lovely. It's a soft. It's a real golden orange, if that makes sense. Oh, it's so lovely. It's like you get a bit stuck in using the same colours, ink pads over and over again, and it's like you forget all the different lovely colours. I saw that somebody had used saltwater taffy the other day, and I thought, I don't even know where my saltwater taffy is. In fact, I'm just wondering if that's it. Oh, funnily enough, that is it. Yeah, it was beautiful, and it's like you just forget because you don't see them. So it's like I'm going to make a real conscious effort, like slightly different colour, to use some different colours, I think. Okay, so it's literally just a case of blending over, being careful with your fingers because your fingers will leave marks on them. You can always use a spare piece of card just to hold them down. And I must get my makeup board back up here. It's still in the front room ready for me to make my little miniature shop, and I haven't gone any further with it, but never mind. It's for a rainy day, and we've had plenty of them. Okay, so now I'm coming in. Oh, look at that. This is now what I think I used carved pumpkin, didn't I? Oh, so nice. I just thought this was going to look really nice and spring-like and fresh. Nice colours, almost Eastery colours actually. And then I'm just going to come in a little bit heavier in the centre. I am going to put the centres on anyway, but I just felt like it wanted a little bit deeper. And don't forget as well, so you can alter the colours a little bit by how heavy you're applying the ink as well. So if we don't push too hard, we can get paler colours showing as well. But always those pieces that are embossed are always going to show up and have a bit more colour to them because they're raised up. So the ink is hitting there first. And to get it to hit the back of the card, you're obviously applying a bit more pressure. So that's why the raised bits get a second ink in, if you like. I'm actually going to add a little bit of pumpkin. Oh, yes. I might do a little bit to maybe just around the edges even. Just lovely. And I mean, I could sit, I'm terrible. I can sit here and just keep adding and playing, and oh, I love inks. I might actually just put a little bit on here as well, because I think it just sort of ties the colours in. So let's just go around the edge. So it's still predominantly scattered straw, but you just got that little tinge of the orange showing. I really like that. That's lovely. Right, I've probably got a bit too much. Don't need another orange one, so I'll just do another yellow one. We'll do another scattered straw, just so that we've got them all done. Might not need them all. Whoops. There, okay. Right, so that's all my flowers done. And don't they look pretty with the embossing on there? I mean, I think it would look really nice to do the leaves as well, but I am going to leave them plain because I want them to, the leaves to stand out a little bit as well. And I'm not sure whether on the first original card I added dots of glitter glue to the background, and I did wonder about dry embossing this, but because I've used the little folder, it won't do the whole thing. I'd have to do it in 2 pieces and then it's not going to line up. I could do the background just with some spots. That might look quite nice. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so now I need to colour my leaves. Now, because the leaves can be quite delicate, what I tend to do is keep the waste and I pop the leaves back in. I don't really use any tape, but you could. And then I'm going to bring in a little bit of mowed lawn to start with. And it's just going to help keep it in place while you add that colour. And it's not going to bend the stems or spoil anything. So it's quite a good idea just to place it back in the waste, hold it still for you so that you can then add the colour that you want to. And then when you think you've got enough colour, we can pop that extra piece out and we've got our leaves. Oh, look at those colours together. Really lovely, bright and fresh and spring-like. So pop it back into the waste. Oh, I've got a little bit, the little bit here starts into, that's it. Just got to get it in, lock it back in place. And then you're best to go one way because obviously you might just catch the leaves. That big one is lifting up. You could put a bit of tape on the back if you wanted to, but the fact that you're just putting them in there temporarily. And then I do like to come in just with a bit of that Lucky Clover down the centre, and then it leaves the paler colours towards the edge, but you have got that darker bit of colour in the middle. So I'm going to do all of my leaves and then they'll all be ready to go. We'll just add in a little bit more colour. It is those little things like just leaving them in the waste to keep them in place. All those little hints and tips. Yeah, they're the things that just make everything so much easier, aren't they? And it's the things that you take for granted that you don't even think is a good tip to pass on because you just forget, because you just do it automatically. So yeah, it is a good, it does help just to keep everything, because they're not flimsy, but you know, they are easy to catch. And it just means you haven't really, like that, you haven't got to hold them too much either. Because when you put your fingerprints on them, it takes the ink off and then you've got it all over your fingers. And then you get a nice dirty card. It's because the middle bit had fallen out. Okay, so I'm just going to come up the middle of the stem. So I get that little bit of darker colour in the middle. So there we go. So you can see it really well there. I'm just waiting for my computer to catch up. I can't believe how far behind it is. It's amazing. But how pretty do all those look together? Lovely. Okay, so now I can throw my waste away. And I could have done the same thing with my flowers if I needed to. So if you choose a flower that's a bit more of a delicate shape, just remember you could put them back in the waste. Okay, so I do need to colour these. These are, I've done these with a hole punch, like a little circle, not a hole punch, a little circle. A little circle punch. Can't get it out. Okay, so I'm just going to colour these and I'm going to do them with the orange. Trying to get a bit of colour off of it. I wasn't going to put it back in the ink, but I think I'm going to have to because it will colour it much quicker. I'm just catching it with my nail on one side and then I can just pounce down on it on the other side. Just keep going over the top of them till you've got a little bit of colour on them. So that's fine. I just wanted something, when I start putting those on the little flowers, that'll be fine. Okay, so let me just wipe my board again. Get rid of all that ink. So now I have to decide whether I'm going to emboss. I am going to emboss the background because it will look different from the first one then. So I'm just going to pop my piece of card in, and I'm going to have like the irregular dots all over this one. I really need to treat myself to some new plates, because they're so warped that trying to get it to go through is a bit of a problem at the minute. Anyway, it worked. So now I've got this lovely white background ready to pop my flowers down onto. For the circles, I think I would colour the card before die. If you do that, and you can colour the card before you die cut them, but if you do, be very careful, because the ink will transfer onto your embossing folder unless you leave them for a few days, because the distressed oxide take a long time to dry. And this happened to me the other day. I'd put something through here that I'd actually stamped on, and I got the stamped image on the embossing folder. So you can do it like that, but just when you've finished, make sure you wipe your embossing folders afterwards, just in case you've got any ink on there at all. Or maybe run a bit of copy paper through them just to check, because it spoilt my card. I had to start again when I did it last time. So yeah. So I'm just curling the petals. So I'm lifting it up and just gently curling it around my pokey tool. You do need to be a little bit careful because I don't want to lose my embossing. So just a couple of times, just so that you're breaking the fibres down in the paper, in your card. And then it will just curl nicely around your pokey tool. Lots of people do this with their feet. I know Hazel does all of her curling with her fingers. I just can't make it do it like I can with the pokey tool. You're very welcome. That's what all the Technique Tuesdays and, you know, all of the videos, they're all about sharing all the hints and tips. Like I say, when you do it all the time, you just almost take it for granted and you forget that actually that's a really useful tip to share with somebody. So no problem, that's what we're here for. So again, just lifting the petals up and curling it around my pokey tool, just so it's got a little bit of dimension to the flower. And don't forget, we're going to put the centres in them as well yet, so that will change how they look. So just lifting them all up, curling it back. I want to mix up my colours so that I have different colours next to different flowers, which is why it worked really well with the rainbow one, because I knew I went from, I think I started with purple and went all the way through the rainbow as I came down my card. So, yeah. Oh, do you mean the little circles? Yes, you could do that. Sorry, Sue. I think, right, okay. Yes, you could do the circles, definitely. I was trying to get stuff prepped so that I didn't have to do it while I was live. But yeah, yes, if you colour the card and then punch them out of the circle die, that would be perfect. Okay, so again, I don't know if I'll need all of these, but I'm going to curl and shape them all so they're all ready. And then if I want to add them, I can. And then it's just a case of adding my leaves and deciding on how I want them to sit. I did last time, I had it going across my card so that I left this area up here free, because I wanted to add a sentiment. So I might do something similar, and I like to go from big to, well, I would normally wouldn't have small, but at the edges I do like some small flowers. And you can overlap these as well, so you can make your design a little bit smaller. So I'm thinking I want to leave this area free, so I've got a sentiment on there. And I do like to have some leaves down the bottom here, so probably put these here. Obviously it can't overhang because it's at the bottom, so maybe I could have a flower on a leaf even. I might not need 4, but then again I might. Or I could cut them down. I never think to do that, and I think I watched Tracy and Philippa, and they like cut into them. It's like, why don't I think of that? So yeah, don't be frightened to cut into the leaves. Like maybe we'll have, I don't really want any up there, I don't think. No, see, it's shouting that it only really needs 3, or perhaps if I just tuck that together, then it will look like, there, that's better. Right, okay, so then I'm going to have a sentiment up here somewhere. So now I can start to stick these down. And I'm going to start with the big flowers, which is always what I would do. So I'm going to put some glue on the back. And remember, because it's embossed as well now, it does take a little bit longer for it to actually stick, because it's got lots of dippy bits in it. If you can catch the leaves underneath one of the flowers, fabulous. I like to put it on so I've got different, I don't like the petals straight on the big one, or on any of them, if I'm honest. I like them to be offset. So then I'm going to put my next flower down. You could put these on with foam pads as well if you wanted to. Yeah, whatever. And just make sure you really give it a chance to stick down, because like I say, you've got all that embossing, so you've got lots of gaps where the glue isn't going to touch down. That's what I was trying to say. Okay, so we can tuck that like that. I like to have these a little bit offset. So we'll have that one round here. And I've just tucked my leaves underneath, which I think will be okay. And then I'm very aware that I want to keep this area free for a sentiment. And I really want a different colour up there. So maybe I could have, oh, I've got an orange there. Maybe we could have an orange, and we can tuck it underneath to make it smaller. So we'll tuck him just underneath a little bit. And I've still got plenty of room up there for my sentiment. And then on my leaves, I'm going to put some glue just on those 2 pieces. And I will tuck that under there. And we've got some flowers left that we can pop over the top. And we'll do the same with this one. So some glue just on the back here and just on that leaf. And this time I'll tuck this one up. That's lovely. So that's sort of filling that area up nicely for me. And then I'm going to have, I start with the next size down flowers. So the middle sized ones, tucking it underneath, and then going out to smaller ones. I'm just thinking like whether they, yeah, I think that one will have 2 mediums and then 1 little. There we go. And I might have 1 up here. I might do it like that actually. You just have to be happy with the composition and how you've got them laid out, and just so that it feels nice to you. Haven't stuck that one on yet, have I? So I either do 2 here or just the 1. I think I'll just have the 1 actually. And then maybe have an orange one because it's a nice different colour up there. So then do I need 1 down here? I think I need 1 there actually. And I think I'm going to go this colour. So a bit more glue on here. I don't think I've ever been so indecisive. I normally just go, it's there. Right, let me get my little round foam pads, because these are very useful for sticking the centres in. So those little round ones that I did, so I want one for that little one. I've got one little one there. I think I've only got 3 little ones at the moment. So take that off, and that off. I might add that other one, you never know. Okay, so putting these in the middle, and then I'm going to put either glitter glue or glossy accents on these, just so that they've got a bit of sparkle or something on them. I need to look at it overhead. I think that's what it is. Does it need a flower up there? Yeah, let's use it up. Otherwise I just, oh, does it look right down there? No, up the top. Otherwise I just end up with one little flower. It'll just be laying around. I might as well use it on the card. I could have put it inside, couldn't I? I didn't think about that. Oh, thank you for all the thumbs up. That's lovely. I know, Brian. What am I like? Okay, right. So we have our design done. We just need the middles for our flowers. So to do that, I wanted to use, I've got a piece of Super Smooth, and I've got the Lisa Horton's limited edition Cloud 9 Solid Gold. And this is such a lovely ink pad. I'm just going to drag some ink out of my ink pad and just drag that down on my cardstock. I believe you can get re-inkers for these, and this would probably be a better way to do the re-inking. So I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I might need a bit more than that. Let's do a couple of bits. And they are really juicy pad. Obviously, doing this, I am not using the ink. It's loads. And just put it back. When you put it away, if you put it upside down, all the ink will come back to the surface. That'd be fine. But it is such a pretty gold. If I can get, I mean, look at that, it's lovely. And don't worry that it's not like all over perfect or anything like that, because we're going to be die cutting it, so it won't show. Yeah, it does actually. You're right, Jeanette, it is like either daffodils, probably more like buttercups. So I'm just going to give this a blast because I want to die cut this. And it does dry really quickly. And I keep saying this, but I want to, it feels lovely as well. It's like really, yeah, it's just really lovely and smooth. It feels lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna get my little machine out so I can do it here, and then I don't have to go away. Now, bear with me. Let's put my little machine down, and I'm going to take the centres. So I need 3 big ones. Oh, now I'm going to have to cut this down, aren't I? How silly was that? Oh, I could probably get 2. Right, so I'm cutting this into strips so it'll go in onto the plate. Couldn't think what to call it. Okay, so I want 3 big ones and must be 4 little ones. Yes. Right. I'm sorry if I'm wobbling as well, because I always forget that the camera is attached. Oh, and I didn't put a bit of, oh, I won't be able to line that up, will I? Because it's, oh, no. Oh yeah, there you go. I didn't put a shim in. My plates, I need new plates for this little machine. That's not wide enough. Oh, I've got them in here. And I have to put a shim of card in here just to make my plates a bit thicker. Not sure that's wide enough either. Oh, that feels a bit better though. Right, so let's have a look. So rather than take it out, no, it still hasn't cut it. Okay. So frustrating. I should really treat myself to some new plates, shouldn't I? Right, that looks like a piece of card that's about the right size. Okay. Sorry about this, ladies and gents. I don't even know if you can get replacement. Still not cutting it. Okay, what's going on? Maybe it was too near the top. Let's put it halfway in. Maybe the pressure will get better. Maybe it'll be better to go and do it in my big machine. And then they would cut first time. Bear with me. I'm nearly there. One more to do. Next time I will remember that I can colour the card and just show you one. Sorry. Okay, so we have another one there. And I have another one here. Let's pop that out, pop that one back. Again, that looks like I might need to give that a bit of a clean actually, because the ink might have come off on my dies a little bit. So I will just give those a clean because I don't want to get gold on something if I don't want gold on it. Okay, so they're my centres, and I mean, I'm going to show you, sorry. Let's bring it up close. Excuse my hands because they are pretty yucky. But how lovely do those look? Oh, okay, oh, okay, brilliant. Oh, okay, sorry, I'm reading all the messages now. I will read it afterwards. I can't read and demo. I'm not clever like Philippa. Although I think it's because she has somebody in her ear telling her, I need Brian to come and sit with me. I know he would. I know he would. Right, okay, I don't want a Christmas greeting. I think I'm going to do Thinking of You because I think those sort of cards are very useful. So we will have Thinking of You. And it's just good to have something like that. You can add another sentiment to it if you wanted to. I have been making quite a few cards and leaving them empty of a sentiment and just adding it when I know what I want the card for as well. So that's another thing I've been doing a bit more recently. But yeah, let me go and die cut these. Bear with me. Sorry. Okay, so we've got our sentiment now. I know, Philippa, when I said it, it's like, yeah. No, I would. He's very good. Makes such a difference, like telling you what people are saying and asking. I can't read the screen as well as looking and demoing and talking. That's definitely multitasking. Okay, so I'm bending up the little fronds on these lovely centres, and I'm placing those in the middle of my flowers. So I've got one more big one. So literally just using my finger to push up against that inner circle piece, and then that gives them a little bit of dimension as well. Pop that in there. And then I've got the smaller ones for my medium-sized flowers, because these ones didn't look right inside the little tiny daisies, but I wanted some sort of centre for them. They would have looked nice with little hearts in them as well, actually. So, but I just love how they finish, really do finish the flowers off. And thank you for all your advice about the plates and that. I will read it afterwards. I'm going to go and have a coffee and sit and read all the comments. And yeah. Use slip screens. Now I don't know what you're talking about, Betty. What's a slip screen? All I do know is that I don't understand why some plates, like, I can't remember what machine Hazel's got, but Hazel's got a machine and the plates don't warp at all. And yet I've always had Sizzix machines, and every single plate I've ever had in any single Sizzix machine, they always end up getting warped in the end. So I don't know what it is that Hazel, I can't remember which one it is that she uses, but yeah, her plates don't warp. Okay, so I'm taking out the thinking of you. So there's my of. Let's make sure I put these back. Don't want to lose any of them. Take out the middle of the O first. Get rid of that. But it is a lovely soft gold, this. And I just think it looks so nice on the sentiments. Right, my eyes are stuck in my die. So that's fine. I can pop them down in a minute. Let's just get all the bits out before I start sticking this down. Okay. And I have still found the easiest way is either my hand or a bit of card, and just to touch this. I can't get on, well, I could get on with my tweezers. I need to use them more. So it's more every day. Okay, so I'm going to pop my thinking up here. Oh, I think that's going to look lovely on there. Oh, I can see all these comments flying up now. But look, how pretty is that gold on there? It just looks so nice. Sorry, I'll show you properly in a minute. So thinking of, let's touch that down on the glue. So we'll have thinking of, then I think I should be able to get you. Whoops. Don't forget as well, because you've got the embossed bits, that you're going to need to be a bit firmer sticking that down because of the embossed background. Now, last time I just did 3 little dots of glitter glue to give me a bit of a background, which is something that I do. No, I think I'm going to have to come down a little bit. So thinking of, come down a little bit. You. And then we need 2 little dots of glue above our eyes, and then I should be able to place the die back on and pop my centres over the glue, and then just lift off any excess. There we go. So they're all lined up properly. I just love that. I think that is so pretty. Right. Okay, so now we need to pop this onto our card front. Let's just wipe my board because I've got some gold on there. And okay, so now we need to pop this onto our card front. Sorry, oh, my sound's going wrong. That's not going to be a big enough piece. Oh, look how desperate my cardboard box is. That's shocking, isn't it? Right, I'm going to stick this down. I'm not going to put a bit of I'm not going to put cardboard underneath. I have got quite a lot of dimension with my flowers, so I'm just going to stick this down. And then I just need to finish my centres. So let's pop that. Give myself a nice border around the edge and firm that down. Could have stuck it down before I put everything on, give myself a better chance of sticking it, but I think that's okay. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of glossy accents. Now what I did on the original card was I put droplets on my leaves. Pizza time, yeah, I think it is actually. Oh, Sonia, that'd be lovely. Right, so I'm going to do droplets if I've managed to get my... The thing with glossy accents is I can even see you get a little lump in the nozzle and it dries and then you can't clear it off. So I'm going to do like little dewdrops just on a few of my leaves, different size drops, but so that it just looks like there's some little droplets of rain or dew on them. Oh. The trouble is it's always the bit that comes down the nozzle. It's so frustrating and you can't get the little tiny bit out. It's because it's a glue and it dries in the nozzle. Oh. Almost got it out then. No, and of course you push it into the bottle, and then as you pull the wire back out again, it pulls the bit you're trying to get rid of. Usually it works, but it doesn't want to this morning. The only other thing I can do is take the nozzle. I might have to. I'll do one little drop if I can get it to work. If I can just get one little droplet to come out. No, it keeps going. Oh, no, it keeps going down the nozzle. Right, I will take this off. You can take the nozzle off. I'll give it a good shake so I get all the glossy accents out of it. Take the nozzle off and I will put it in boiling water, and that will help to clear the nozzle out. So I'm going to make the centres of my flowers be sparkly. So just those little ones on the flat circles that I punched out. I will just add, oh, and I could add, I'll regret this because I've got to do all of them then. Maybe I'll just do the big flowers. Yeah. So just doing little drops of glitter glue on the fronds on the big flowers, and then it will catch the light and add that little bit of sparkle. Because it's quite a matte gold, but I really like that. about it. And then I'll do what I did on the original card around my sentiment. So I will add 3 little dots of glitter glue just around the sentiment, and it'll just draw your eye to it. And now that thinking doesn't look very straight. Oh! Got to hope that it is. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think it looks very different from the original one, which was like rainbow colours. I will let this dry because of the glossy accents needs to dry, and then I'll take a photograph of it and pop it up on the Julie Hickey Designs page. So bear with me, let me flip the camera again. I do like to say bye-bye. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget that all the products are available still from the Stockists. Just using the dies, you know, you don't have to use the stamps as well as the dies. And Hazel's sentiments are just perfect to finish a card off. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and thank you so much. I'm going to go and have a lovely coffee and sit and read your comments. I will post the photograph later, and I'll also download the video as well. And don't forget that if you miss any of the lives, if you go to YouTube, so YouTube and then search for Julie Hickey Designs, you will find all the lives that we've done recently, well, going back for quite a while now. We load them all onto YouTube, so it's much easier to find, and then you can watch them on your TV as well if you've got a smart TV. So have a lovely day. I hope you get to be creative, and you should all have had an email this morning, and if you haven't, then you can go to the website and sign up to get the emails, because you need to save the date for next Wednesday at 9 o'clock. Hope you can join me. And then I'll be back in the evening as well. So there might be something new coming. I should have had a carrot, shouldn't I? In fact, next time I'm going to remember that, and I'm going to get a carrot. Okay, have a lovely day. Thanks ever so much for joining me. Take care. Bye-bye.